Andrew, welcome to the Real Estate Agent Netcast podcast. How's that sound? What podcast Netcast? Episode 91. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We got Jonathan here from mailright.com, and he is our tech wizard on the backside. Andrew is the Facebook wizard, and I'm the wizard too. I'm something. I'm 25 years in real estate. So first thing I'm going to hit was Andrew before we pass over to Jonathan. I want to know, as a real estate broker, all I want to do is go out and get great listings that sell and get more and more listings. Because I get listings, the world is great. World is fun, especially now in Reno. So what do I need to do with Facebook to start getting listings tomorrow?
So to get listings tomorrow, probably one of the most effective strategies for like right now is if you have buyers looking in a specific area, write a little bit about them, target an ad to the area they want to buy in and say, we have a buyer looking in your area. Are you interested in selling? Could be a great opportunity to sell your home. And that one is the type of one that gets people responding right away because they're like, oh, I actually would consider it for the right price. So tell me a little bit about your buyer. So when you do those though, every now and then you get people who currently have their home for sale, just like, hey, my home's for sale. Have you looked at it yet? So you got to weed through those a bit.
Okay, 89523 in Reno, Nevada is where I want to target. Yeah. And I'm ready to go. So how do I do? I've got a Facebook account.
Yep. So you got to go create a Facebook page, so a business page, because you need the business page to get newsfeed ads. And if you're going to run Facebook ads, you want to run newsfeed ads because they're the best performing ones. So you get the business page. The first mistake people make is they just click boost post. Like they'll make a post on their page and hit boost post. It's the wrong way to do it. You don't have the targeting options that you have if you go through the ads manager. So instead you should go to the ads manager, which if you're logging into Facebook, the top right, there's a little drop down arrow. Click on that, create ad, and that brings you into the ads manager. And then from there, you can actually either boost post. You have a few different options on how to create the ad. So you can either boost the post. Well, there's a bunch of options. The three main ones is boost posts, send people to your website, or for conversions. For most people starting out, I'd start with for clicking people through to the website. So for instance, you have the zip code of where you want to target. You can just put that zip code right into the Facebook for targeting, and it's actually going to put that onto the map, just that zip code. And then you really want to make sure one thing you do, especially if you're in an area that gets a lot of tourists or just a lot of people passing through, is switch the right above the map, you'll see something that says everyone in this location. Click on that and switch to people who live in this location, because otherwise you'll get a lot of people who are just coming through. So you want to make sure you're targeting people who actually live there. And then you start drilling down on interest, and you want to adjust the age. So like if you're targeting sellers, most areas you're not getting too many sellers under like 35. So you're going to hit 35 and up, people who live in that zip code. And then you can start looking at other interests. Depending on where you are, sometimes you can target people likely to move. Not every single area has that targeting option, but you can start playing around with the different options available in your area.
So how much money do I need to push out to get a lead tomorrow?
You can probably start as low as $5 a day. And you can normally get a couple leads out of that. Like normally I would say you're going to get a lead between every $7 to $12 spent.
That's really good.
Yeah, but it depends on the quality of the lead. Sometimes you're getting some low quality ones, and that's especially for buyers, the $7 to $12 range. And then when you look at sellers, though, it can be hit and miss in different markets. I've run a seller campaign in one market, and I think, just over 30 leads for under $500 in a month. I ran the exact same campaign in another market 40 minutes south, and we got 0.
No, 30 is good, but what was the conversion on the 30? And then why the difference?
That's one thing I started looking into a lot after. The main reason we could think about for the difference between the getting a lot and getting none was in the one where we got a lot, it was a very transient community. So there's a lot of people just coming in for work, and they don't stay too long with the military base. So there's a lot of people who just pop in for a year, 2, 3 years, and then leave. So they don't have established relationships with realtors. The other one was a bit more of a bedroom community. People are there 20, 30, 40 years before they move a lot of the time. So they all, they play hockey with an agent in town or something like that. So when they want to know the value of their home, they just call their buddy up.
Sounds
So
like Reno, doesn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, well, I think there's two sides to Reno. There's the real established community, but there's an enormous flux going on, isn't there, Bill, with the new companies and new people looking at this area. So it's like two worlds, really, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, I think on the buyer's side, and that's where you hear about people actually. I'll ask you the other side of this. Okay, now we figured out how to get the listings in an area, and 89523 is what we're looking at, KarenConrad.com. So we'll try that out, and I'll invest $100 to see what we can get. So how should I start? Should I start in that area? Should I start with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50? How much should I put down a day right now to test it?
the test, you can start, like most of my clients spend probably around $12.50 to $15 a day.
Okay.
But if you want just as like a test, you can go down to like $7.50 a day and just test it out and see what works. But just make sure you're giving it a bit of time. Like if you're running it for a day or two and you're not getting anything, then it's a waste of your time. But you want to give them at least a week or two before you start adjusting.
Now, I talked about conversion. How do you design the ad? You have to have an ad, right?
Yep.
And then it's got to be mostly a picture.
Yeah. So I actually designed the landing page first.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm going to send them. That's what I want to get people to convert on. So I'll design that first, and then I'm going to create an ad that looks a lot like the actual landing page. And that way, when you click on one, you go to the next one, they look similar. So for instance, if I have a big background color, I'm going to get the color code for it, and I'm going to create an image that also has that color in it. So when you go over, it's a very similar experience. Because that's why a lot of people have high bounce rate on their pages is they go click on an ad, go to a page, and doesn't even look like what they were just at. So then they end up wanting to leave. So you want to make sure it's consistent from colors, images, and the language. So if you say, well, find out what your home is worth on the ad, then they click through onto your page. It should still say, what is your home worth, not free home evaluation. Keep it consistent across everything you're doing. Keep that language consistent, and then you'll find that it helps a lot in terms of conversion.
What do you think is the best target line to ask, question to ask? What is your home worth, or 7 mistakes that you might make, or something of that nature in selling your home?
They all have different purposes. And I found many markets are different. So I like to do a bit of both. So like, for instance, if I had that top 7 mistakes in selling your home, maybe what I'll do there is everyone who goes and visits that page gets hit by a retargeting pixel. And then when they go back on Facebook, now they're being targeted with what's your home worth one. So you're building out an entire funnel, a plan to target everyone that you can. It's not just a one-off each time.
Now we're talking retargeting pixel. Jonathan, we've been talking about this a lot. So for the real estate agent, why don't we explain that to them? Or for the listener out there, it doesn't have to be a real estate agent.
Would you want to? I'll go and then Andrew can put me right. Basically, one of the powerful things about this is that if you drive somebody from a Facebook ad to your website and you've installed the 1 pixel part of Facebook on that page, that individual then is trackable through Facebook. So when they go back, they can be retargeted. And also, that's when you start getting a lot of data as you get increased data. Is that correct, Andrew?
Yep. Easiest way I normally try to when I explain it to like a room full of people is I actually give them the example, like how many of them have ever shopped on Amazon, you've been on a page, and you're shopping for a product, you go on Facebook and you see that product all over the Facebook for the next week. That's the easiest way for people to kind of understand what retargeting is. And then what's nice is there's different ways to retarget as well. So you can retarget with the pixel code that we were talking about, where you put it on the page and it kind of puts a cookie on anyone who comes back to Facebook. You can also use email addresses. So if you have a database of 1,000 people, you can upload all those email addresses to Facebook, and then anyone who logs on to Facebook with that email address, they're going to see your ad. It's a great way to target your database or mailing list.
That's the other reason why having a good database and having a lot of emails is really important, Bill.
See, I can do that with my Reno 550 list. It's an older group of people. I got to be really careful sending them an email. Older folks. They're older. They're all over 60, all over 55.
So, Andrew, what's your feelings about Facebook lead ads? Have you utilised those at all?
Yeah, I've done some tests with them. It depends a lot on your system in terms of the backend that you're using.
Can you explain to the audience what they are?
Yeah, so a lead ad basically replaces the need for a landing page, because what it does, it's for mobile. When they click on your ad, it's going to send a little pop-up saying, do you wish to give your information to this person? And basically it'll share their email and phone number and name that you've given Facebook. And it's just going to send it to the advertiser. So it eliminates that. I have to go and fill out a form. It just quickly pops up. They hit OK, and now you get their information as an advertiser.
Hey, hold
so
that
it
thought.
speeds up and reduces clicks.
Hold
Pardon?
that thought. We're going to go to a break, and we'll come right back, and we'll jump more into this Facebook world of pixels and lead ads and all these good things.
Sounds good.
So Andrew and Jonathan, we've looked at how we get listings. Now, let's say we're in Reno here, and we want to target folks in San Francisco, let's say. They come over the hill, and a lot of people are coming over right now. So I want to target some buyers and lead generation. Is that a good thing to do? And how do I hook them and get them on through Facebook into my landing page and then convert them to a client?
So if I was targeting buyers and they were not in my area, first thing I'm going to do is, obviously you mentioned the area of San Francisco, but you're not going to want to target everyone in San Francisco because there's definitely areas where they're not going to be able to afford a place also in Reno, because it's mostly second homes that they're getting there. It's not like they're not moving permanently. So if that's the case,
we do have a lot of people moving in, tech people moving in right now, because we've got Tesla, Switch, some really big organizations setting up here.
So you want to think about where they live now in San Francisco and then start collecting those zip codes. And then you input the zip codes of where they probably live now and bring them over. Because there's obviously going to be places that are lower income that they're not likely to move there from. So you go and you find the places, and you can either do it by zip code or just looking at a map and then dropping a pin. But you drop it there, and then you also edit the industries you're targeting. So you're going to target people in the tech sector, maybe legal, but you look at the different sectors they offer and say, here's the ones who could potentially move here. And then another good way to do it too is now to target people who live there who have expressed interest in Reno as well. So something they've done on Facebook, they've expressed some degree of interest in Reno. Or if you're talking about Tesla, someone who's Reno and Tesla. So you want to look at what kind of they would be interested in your area. So I've done it for a few recreational area agents. And that's what we do a lot. So for instance, in a cottage country, I'll give you an example, or in Aspen, for instance, I have someone I'm working with there. What we're going to do is we're going to target people who maybe in Los Angeles or somewhere else where they're likely to come from, Chicago, New York, who've been to Aspen in the past little while in industries that have higher incomes. And then you can target them with ads about buying a place in Aspen. So you're targeting people who've already been there before with money, who are more likely then to buy a place than someone who's never been to Aspen, because no one's buying a recreational property in an area unless they've been there at least once.
Oh, very good. I know it sounds tough to do, though. I mean, there's a lot there, especially trying to get it from, let's say, Tesla or Switch or somebody. Or
a lot of it.
Go ahead.
A lot of it's planning up front. If you do a lot of planning, it's like if you're painting a room. Most of the work is done in just preparing and getting the room ready. It's the same thing with Facebook ads. It's a lot of preparing, getting everything ready, getting everything set up. Then once you actually walk through building the ad, if you've done the work ahead of time, it goes a lot quicker.
Yeah, that's well put, because when I've done it, Andrew, is you need the imaging, the image connected to the advert is really important, and you need bold colours. Don't go for washout colours, colour choice. Really good quality, and you really got to really work on your wording, the copy.
Yeah.
Just don't knock up something in 5 minutes. Write it, re-look at it, get some feedback from other people, rewrite it at least 3 or 4 times. You're going to really have to look at your copy. And like what you said on the landing page, you want the same images and the same kind of text message, don't you?
Yeah, it's a consistent look and feel across.
The A/B testing is part of that too. This is so techie today. This is heavy techie. This could best be a WP-Tonic show.
No, this is about real estate. This is about getting leads.
No, let's talk about WordPress.
No, thanks, Phil. So
we talked about real estate.
Because let's talk about, you set up a page, and let's talk about Facebook Insights. Can you give some information what Insights is, Andrew?
Yeah, so it's basically just the back end analytics. And I think I don't remember the number anymore, but I think it's like 30, 50 likes or 100 likes, you start getting the ability to have insights. But basically what it is it's telling you a lot of the stats behind your page. So you can start to see your breakdown of your demographic, which I think is a really important one that people miss a lot, is seeing who actually their audience is. Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm targeting first-time home buyers. And I actually had a client who that's what they thought, that every post they did was targeting people that they thought would be like, 20 to 30 years old, looking to buy their first condo downtown in the city. And we actually looked at their page, and it was over 60% of their audience was women between 40 and 55. So they had to change the type of content they were putting in based on those insights, because you want to target the demographic that's actually liking your page. So you want to go in there, learn about your audience.
You only need 30 likes.
No, it's actually, I think it's actually 100, actually,
I
Andrew.
it up. I got it right here.
Yeah. Is it 30?
They've changed it before. I know at one point it was 30 when I first got my first page.
Right there.
Then there was another time it went up to 100, and now it could easily be back down to 30.
So 30. So how would you, obviously, if you've got a lot of people on your profile, you will be, that profile list will be accessible on your page, and you can ask people that you're joined through your profile to like your page. That's a start, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, but you also want to be careful about that too, because it depends on who you're friends with on your personal profile. Because what a lot of people do is they'll just go on and ask everybody they know to like their page. But if you're friends, like especially with a lot of real estate agents all over the country or around the world, like look at mine, for example. I have I think I'm up to 1,200 friends on there, and most of them are real estate agents who just see me on something like this and sent me a friend request. Is they often, I'd say 70 or 80% of them ask me to like their page. But I'm not going to go buy a home right now in Edmonton, Alberta. So there's no value in me liking their page. So why getting me to like it? Because now what it's doing is it's wasting some of your posts. Because what happens when you send out a post, it's only going to a certain percentage of the people who like your page. And if they don't engage with it, Facebook's not going to keep sending it out to people. So you want the people seeing it to make it a relevant post to them. No post that comes out of Edmonton real estate probably is going to be relevant to me. So the odds of me engaging with it are really small, and that ultimately hurts the page. So you want to make sure you're actually only inviting the people who this page could be relevant to. Now, Facebook has figured this out a bit, and they've actually added in a tool that most people haven't realized, and it's for organic targeting of your posts. And you actually have to go physically turn it on. So if you're on your page, you go into settings, and I believe it's called audience optimization, and you just want to click on that and turn it on. And what that actually allows you to do is it puts a little target. So when you are putting a post, you have the option at the bottom to tag someone, add a photo, all that. And you'll see basically some target sites at the end of those options. And that'll allow you the ability to target people based on their area or their interests. So if I had a page of 10,000 people, but I was only advertising in one city, I would actually have that post now only go out to people in that city. Or maybe if it's for first-time buyers, I'm going to limit the age range of even my organic posts so that at least then it's more relevant to the people reading it as opposed to just going out to everybody.
Yeah, but I totally agree with you, but I'll just put this to you. Most agents, they might have some other agents, but they probably, if they've managed their profile, their friend people that are known in the community. And also, what about utilising lists in the profile to kind of subdivide their main profile list into sub-lists? I think that's reasonably important as well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do that for myself on my personal one, and I even realize I don't do it enough. Anyone who joins me who's in real estate, they get put onto a specific real estate list, because I know that, especially all my friends from high school and university, they don't care about, me coming on a podcast, for example, or me hosting a seminar somewhere. Maybe my close friends would want to, come and see me doing something, but for the most part, they're not in real estate. It's not relevant to them. So but people who are following me through real estate might have interest in it. So I add them to that list. And when I make a post like I did earlier today about this podcast, I send it only out to people who are in real estate, because they're the ones who are likely going to want to watch it.
And that's connected to your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going to wrap up before we go on to the next break, Andrew, got any advice about how you start building up your people liking your page and getting activity on that? Got any general tips or advice on that?
A lot of it is just providing really relevant content. Like you want to keep providing every time you put a post out there, just think to yourself, if I was on Facebook scrolling through, would I find this interesting? 70% of the content you can put out is called like the 70-20-10 rule. I saw it through HubSpot. 70% is just relevant content to the audience that you create and relevant to your brand. 20% you're sharing from other people. And then 10% is you asking for business.
Yeah.
But
let's go to break.
Keep in mind, okay.
We're going to go to break. We'll come back. We're running out of time. But you know what we'll do? We'll open to the blab. So if they want to go to mail-right.com episode, was it 91? And also put it on Podcaster's Home episode 91. It'll be in the blog there. So there'll be links back and forth.
It'll be 46 on Mail Right, Bill.
46. I guess I had another show on the brain.
Yeah, well, we always got these shows, don't we?
Andrew, coming off our last break, and we're running short on time, but we'll have a little after the show that people can catch on YouTube and Blab at our websites. But in the meantime, how can the listener find you and get a hold of you?
So you can go to my website, justsellhomes.com. All the ways to contact me are on there. I also have the option that you can book a free 30-minute call with me. I leave 2 spots in my calendar each week to do calls with people who are interested. So you can certainly book one of those, and my assistant will organize that with you. You can also reach out to me on Twitter or on Facebook through my, happy to add you as a friend and both of them, you just search my name, Andrew Fogliato. That's my username on every social platform. So reach out to me however you want.
Oh, very good. So how can the listener help you? What can we do to help you today?
If you know anyone looking to just sell homes and start giving someone else the digital side of their business, have them get in touch with me and I can certainly help them. Or if someone wants like a one-day boot camp, because there's a guy I work with in my area. We do 1-day online lead generation boot camps where we'll come in, show you from start to finish how to build the full funnel out. Get in touch and we can see if we can organize one in your area.
Is that like a private webinar, basically?
We actually do them in person because we do it like hands-on where you can bring your computer, follow along as we do it. And we found that most agents... Pardon?
We could sponsor you down here in Reno then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And you're in Calgary? I forgot. It's Calgary?
I'm in just north of Toronto.
Toronto. Okay. Toronto. Yeah. Okay. Still cold up there, I take it. So
no, depends on your definition of cold.
Yeah. And no, I saw there's some warm. Chicago was warm today, so it's probably not that bad. Hey, Jonathan, one last question. Both get a question. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So, Andrew, do you use any of the kind of tools like Sumo Rank or Like Analyzer or Espresso? Do you use any of those when you're working with clients?
The main tool I use a lot for like building lists is SumoMe.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other ones, I mostly use the built-in stuff that Facebook has. I like a lot of the Facebook built-in tools are really good.
Yeah, it's that is learning how to use those tools that WordPress provides is one of the challenges, isn't it? But you just got to hack away if you're gonna do it yourself, or you're gonna hire somebody with the expertise that Andrew has so clearly shown you in this episode, folks. So it's your choice. Either do it yourself or hire Andrew to get you started. So, Andrew, to follow up on that, seriously, do you get some clients that get you to set it all up and train you, and then they try and do it themselves a bit, or does it mostly?
That's actually one of my options.
No.
If a client wants, I'll set them up, show them how to use it, and then they can go on their own.
Yeah, that sounds great.
My last question was sort of similar along that same line. Is it's going to ask you of the type. I know you have those 2 different tracks. What do agents mostly choose? For you to do it all, or for them to be DIY?
My most popular is my just straight lead gen package where I just do ads and landing pages. And most of those plan to move up to my full service, do absolutely everything for them. Once they, close a few of them or leads, get a bit more money in. But yeah, most start with the lead gen package. So I'm just doing ads and landing pages and getting them leads. And then we kind of move up from there to adding in a website, adding in blogging, email marketing, and then actually like setting up systems in their business to make them more efficient.
Very good. So that'll be the end of the show. Now you can go to mail-right.com, episode 41, 41, right? 41? 46. Man, you know, the problem is I should have put it up on the blab side here. 46. And thank goodness for editing on the podcast. And also you can go over to, you were on an earlier show, 237 of timelinesofsuccess.com, 237. Just type in Andrew in the search and you'll find his show. And it's really good. I listened to that earlier. It's more about you and your background and what you do and why you do it, and some personal things. So it's good to find out about the person too. And then anything else, Jonathan, you want to throw in there?
Just that this is a big subject. Andrew's given some great insights. We're going to continue the conversation, which you'll be able to get on YouTube, or if you go to Timelines of Success or mail-right.com, the continued part of this conversation will be on there for you to gorge yourself upon more Facebook information. You can really gorge yourself, Andrew, can't you?
All the time.
And I've got one more call to action for our listener. Go over to this on the iTunes. Go to iTunes. You can find us on our pages. If you Google it, put in real estate agent podcast, real estate agent Netcast. They'll both pop up. Or you can put Jonathan Denwood or Bill Conrad, and they'll pop up, and you'll see it. And go ahead and like us and write a review. Really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. And FYI, this week we made New and Noteworthy. We've been out 7.5 weeks making New and Noteworthy this week. So that's the first time with 4 shows I've ever made New and Noteworthy. So that's kind of nice. And we were right next to Tony Robbins, too.
What could you ask for?
Thanks,
you, Andrew. It's been
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime.
Okay, folks, we are back on the recording. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the phone, though, because we're not going to. This is the podcast. Oops. The podcast portion's over, but it's kind of fun on this. But go ahead, Jonathan. I didn't run around you.
So I like your feedback on this, because if somebody came to me, I would say that one of the main factors is have a budget that's realistic and have a realistic time expectation before you're going to get some really powerful results. And I feel that you will get some powerful results, but I think you've got to have a realistic time expectation and have a consistent budget. What's your feelings around those statements, Andrew?
I think it's absolutely right. Like, a lot of people come into Facebook ads thinking they're going to get a ton of business tomorrow. It can happen, but a lot of leads, they're online leads 12 to 18 months out often. You'll get some that are ready tomorrow. You'll get some that are a couple of years away. You need a follow-up plan that's going to help you keep up the ones who are further out, and that's where a lot of the money is.
Who's your typical client? What age? What geographical location?
Age actually varies quite a bit. Like, I have one client who's younger than I am, and my oldest client is about 64. And most of them, though, they are middle-aged, so between 40, 55.
Yeah, the average female set 57 now.
Yeah, and then most of them are making about 250 to about 800,000 a year.
That's a good, and they're coming to you once they're already producers. They're already in that production level. Anybody new coming to you?
Yeah, I do, but most of them I'm out of their budget. Yeah. So the
problem is
more my price
conversion.
Yeah, and that's where the big difference is. Like, if I took new people on, there would be that issue of I don't know how they are converting. Whereas if I have someone who's already doing 20, 30, 40, 50 plus deals a year, I know if I get them a lead, they're going to work it.
Yeah.
So that's why I like.
Yeah, I totally understand, Andrew, because obviously there's 2 parts to this business. There's online personal marketing, and then there's salesmanship. And if they're producing 30 to 40 houses a year, it's clearly they're probably on the actual salesman side that they're reasonably effective, aren't they, Andrew?
Exactly. Like, I have one of my clients who's, Olympic medalist, and he just goes and he gets, like, the way that he works real estate is how he worked when he was training to go to the Olympics. Like, he just gets up every morning early and hits the phones and gets out there, and he just goes until he's ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know the top producers, they don't go to bed until they have like a listing or a contact or appointment.
Yeah,
the next day.
Hunters.
Yeah, let's delve in a little bit more, actually. So I just want to put some of these things and see if I've clarified them. So basically, I would always recommend any agent to have a Facebook page and a profile. And when I'm asked what's more effective, I say both, if they're managed correctly. And you delved into how you feel that if you want to get an effective result from Facebook page, but then you got the edge, and then you've got the problem of only about 2%, who knows, of those people are going to see anything. But that's where a small budget, a regular small budget for Facebook paid advertisement is so important, I feel, Andrew, because you could really some of the posts that you've really spent some time on that will also drive them to your website. Hopefully, you can boost their effectiveness on Facebook so dramatically. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, one of the great strategies for driving people, like if you write blogs on your website, every time you write a blog, just put $5 around it to send it out to people in your area or people who like your page. And then and it goes to your page, have your Facebook pixel installed. And now you're going to advertise to them when they get off of Facebook, when they go back to Facebook. Now they're going to start seeing your seller ads, your buyer ads, and you'll find that those often end up producing better results because they're already reading real estate articles, so they're interested.
See, this is where you said some pre-planning comes and having some education, doesn't it, Andrew? Because you should be doing that before you spend some serious money on Facebook. I would suggest that this strategy that we've just outlined is something you should be doing about 6 months in the quiet season, in the winter. This is where you should be knocking out some posts and doing what we just said, preparing for the spring season where you can do some serious advertisement. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say last year too, my busiest month for my business of like agents getting ready was December. Like everyone got their business size down a bit, and I got inundated. Like I took the 25th, 26th off of December, and that was the only time I could afford to stop working because I had so many people calling that time of year. So everyone's planning for the new year.
Yeah. So when it comes to the other factor is, you use lead pages, which is a great product, is that I think that's really, setting up some decent landing pages. So can you give some insight about some of the campaigns and some of the things that you have found that works with lead pages around a Facebook campaign? Because I think those insights would be very worthwhile to our listeners and watchers, Andrew.
Yeah, one of the really popular ones I've had that has had solid and consistent conversion rates is a lot of my clients do like seminars. So whether it's first-time buyer seminars, regular buyer seminars, move up, downsizing, different types of ones, is building an event page through lead pages where people can register for your event on the page, because you can do like a countdown timer of how long until the event's there, highlight the guests who are going to appear. And most of the time that we do it, we can get 15, 20 people out to an event for $100, $150. And that's a pretty good lead if they're going to come in person to an event.
Oh, so you have it, because obviously it's local, so you have an actual physical event.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So I have, like, for instance, one of my clients now. So I know not every area uses lawyers to close every real estate deal, but here where we are, you need a lawyer, a mortgage broker, and an agent. So we have a mortgage, a lawyer, and a agent at every single event that they do in person. So you can come, it's 30 minutes of each person doing a presentation, or 20 minutes each, and then a 30-minute open Q&A. And we advertise it that way, where we'll answer everything you need to know about buying your home or selling your home. And at the end of it, you'll have the opportunity to ask all the questions you want. And so those have been pretty popular.
Yeah, I can see that being and like you say, for $150 and, getting lead pages and doing some of the prior things about which we already discussed, that could be really great. What about if you actually do you do kind of what I call a kind of campaign where you might have a home and you're saying, I'm just showing it to my my fans on Facebook. You know, it's a little secret. It's coming on the market soon, but you're having the first insight. Do you run any of those?
Yeah, they're actually really popular. So I actually have a client in the States who works on a team, and they only have kind of the coming soon. Like, he can only work with buyers, so those coming soon ones are huge for him, because we can just put up an ad for because their team does 400 plus deals a year. So they always have at least 1 or 2 listings coming soon. So we, every week, will send an email to his list saying, you know, here's the ones we have coming soon. Let us know if you're interested. And so for those, we're not even collecting names of people. All we're getting is email addresses, and we send it out to the email addresses. And then, because if they want to see that home because they're interested, they have to give you more information about themselves. So it's okay just to collect email addresses at that point.
They're serious if they want to see the home too. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I can see consistency. So how regularly does he do that, Andrew? He or her?
For us, like right now, the plan's weekly. But obviously it depends on, do you have the listings coming up every week? Just because of the nature of the team they do. But obviously not every...
Well, that's definitely something. That's something definitely Bill and Karen can do, because Karen's part of one of the largest brokerages in Northern Nevada. So that's definitely something that Karen could do on a consistent pattern, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a lot of listings, if you can use yours in your office, so like I know there's some offices where they have a meeting every week and they go over what's coming up in the next week. You can put a little email together saying, hey, here's what's coming up. If you want to be the first one through the door, reply to this email and I'll get you in.
And
very short, very
and Bill and Karen are very lucky because they also got a really good email service, which they're part of, Andrew. And I know the English owner of it, but they haven't been using it, Andrew. So I just think I've given him an insight why he should be building up his email list. A, to import it into Facebook. B, to do the kind of touching link to Facebook, which we've just described, Andrew.
I think there's some other things too. You got to be careful when you email your whole list. You got to target your list.
Targeting's all important, Bill. I totally agree with you.
But on the Facebook side, there's no reason why you can't load up all your emails.
Yep. And you can even do like the coming soon idea one. Yeah. And it's something we're working on because right now it's going out to everybody, is segmenting it into price ranges and then areas. So everyone who's interested in this area and everyone who's interested in this price range. So every time you get a coming soon, it's a very targeted demographic. But some people want them all because maybe some people like to be that person that, you know, they know their friend's looking and they see one. They like to be the person that sends this to their friend. They feel like they're helping them out. So there's people who want every single one to come to them.
Yeah. Might be a little bit off topic. If I am, we get off it quick. Is what's your experience of email marketing with Facebook? Is there any effective linkage? Got any tips or insights about how you link the two mediums, or even though both are very powerful, are they kind of semi-divorced?
You can link that. Like I use mostly Facebook to build my email marketing list. And then what I also like to do is because I send mine out mainly once a month. I do more frequent, shorter ones, but my main one goes out once a month. So if I'm, say, in my email, and I get pretty decent responses when I send out a list, what I'll often do is, like the couple days before, maybe a week after, if I'm having a promo in it, I'm now going to advertise to people on that mailing list the exact promo that they just saw when they were reading it. Because some people might have just been reading it on their phone, and then they close it because they're going into an appointment, and they forget to go back in. But then they go on Facebook, they see an ad again for that promo.
Yeah.
So
I might have been a little bit slow, because you can give some bit more information about how you use Facebook to build up your email list.
So I will take a blog post, for example, and I'll boost that out to people. And then when they come to the page, I have SumoMe installed on my site. And so SumoMe has a few different parts of it. A big one for me is timed pop-ups. So after a certain amount of time on my page, a little pop-up comes up asking you to subscribe to my newsletter. And what I really like about SumoMe for that is the ability to A/B test. Like I actually just did one A/B test for the pop-up. All I did was change the font of the lettering on the pop-up, and I had 157% increase in signups.
That's weird. I never thought about that. I was thinking maybe as you exit it pops up, an exit pop-up. Hey, have you used Opt-in Monster?
No, I have not. I mostly use SumoMe for my
it's just fine.
building.
I think the free versions of SumoMe on a lot of my sites.
Yeah, I think both are because SumoMe. I don't think it's no longer free now. I don't know if they're grandfathered.
They have a free version, but it's like a light version. Yeah, I got a promo, so I got it. Like I paid a year up front, and I think I got a pretty good deal.
Yeah. They have pretty good. They're just social media connections and links are good for posting.
Yeah,
that's the free side.
Well, they got their real hardcore marketing tool, which the Sumo kind of plugin what gave them data to their professional tool. So there was a lot of reasons why it was good value. So yeah, I can really see that. So you write something really good, you have a good pop-up system, you do A and B testing, and then you boost that post reach through a little bit of paid Facebook advertisement. That's basically it, Andrew. And that's you've done that consistency, and that's helped you build up a decent list, is it?
Yeah. I'd say every time like I spend $5, I can, less than $1 per person to join my list because it's a relevant post that I'm doing. And if it's a relevant, informative, they're going to join. Yeah,
it's a shame. This is. I think we've given some really good stuff and ideas to our audience, Andrew, because it's not. It's. I understand what I get a lead, but if you can also realise just paying a little bit of money through Facebook, you can boost how many possible new people that don't know your brand or don't know your website, and if you then can get them on, you can then track them if they come to your website through the Facebook pixel, and if you can get them on your mailing list, you can really get some effective calls for action and response, can't you?
Exactly. You can get amazing responses, but again, it's all planning it out. Like plan out the system you're going to have for doing this. Like you want to make sure, maybe for the first month, I'm not going to add in any call to actions. I'm just going to inundate people with really good content. Or maybe you can do that for a couple of months. Yeah. And then after that, then you start asking, get more updates, sign up for this list, do this. But don't just go straight for the ask all the time. Start with content.
Now it is linked because we're a crucial part of a successful Facebook advertisement is having a decent website and having decent landing pages. And I think I know you said for the agent that doesn't have a website, you use lead pages, but I feel every agent that's really serious about getting really quality results in 2016 needs their own website. So if they have got their own website, what is the kind of content that gets you excited or gets you feeling that this agent really understands online marketing and what they're doing with their website? What's the kind of content that you like to see on that agent's website, Andrew?
So the content you want is the type of content when you think about the consumer. So think about if you knew someone who right now decided, I'm going to buy a home. What are they going to do? They're going to go on Google and they're going to start researching. And they're going to have a certain path. So maybe at first they're going to look in, well, how much can I afford? Okay, well, what area do I want to live in? And they're going to start there at kind of like a high level. And as they're searching through, maybe they find more terms related that they don't know, then they're going to search that term. So they're going to start broad, then go narrow. You want to have that content on your site. So start broad with your content, like, a little bit about an area and then dive down deeper. A little bit about an area, dive down deeper. Like schools are a huge one. Like if you can write about all the schools in your area, give a little profile about them, as much information as you can, interview people who work there or have gone there. Ton of information about schools. Like that's
maybe interview some of the heads of those schools for a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've interviewed like a congressman and the mayor.
Yeah.
Well, actually, but your actual target audience, Bill, cares more about the schools.
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. That's the rules.
Now you can, so like, I know there could even, like, if there's an election going on, interview all the candidates. Like, it's another way to get local people on your site.
2 years ago,
But-
I did, and get a lot. I agree. In fact, Karen has actually more than half her work has come from the relationships we built off the podcast.
Yeah. Well, it works really well if you can do it properly.
Quick question. You say, where are they starting their search? They're starting their search a lot on Zillow, Trulia.
Well, you're going to get them before they even start searching for homes. 'Cause they're not searching for homes right away. They're going to search maybe the area, like, okay, what area is right? Which schools are the right ones for my kids to go to? And then once I figure that out, then I'm going to start looking at homes. And that's when they go to Zillow. So you want to capture them before they get to Zillow. So you're now providing them everything they need to know about the home buying process to get them to build that know, like, and trust with you. And then once they've done that, now even if they go look at Zillow, they're still coming to you.
That's for the buyer. I think on the seller, I think I'd focus on the seller first. I'm big in, you get listings is what makes an agent. Listers are lasters in real estate. Interesting.
Well, would you agree with that, actually, Andrew?
You played around with video
Yeah.
having an impact.
Pardon?
How about video on Facebook having impact off of video?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about video?
there's huge reach now. Like, Facebook's really pushing videos, so the more you can do, the better. You just got to, like, when you're Facebook, got to consider how people are watching it, and that is they're scrolling down and they're going to autoplay without sound. So you got to make sure the video has whatever the hook is to get people to watch is not sound related, which is why you see so many videos on Facebook where they actually put, like, captions and little words and titles into the video itself.
Would you do me a test real fast, Jonathan? Both of you guys, just do this real fast. Hit that Zillow link down there, and I put a video in, and hit 98523 as a buyer. That should bring in a lot as a buyer. It'll go to the buyer first, I think. And tell me what pops up first.
What do you want us to put in?
Go under buyer and just type in 98523. And that's my wife's farm. So what's the first property that pops up? What's the address?
That's still working for me.
3505 Delta Queen Avenue.
Is it a video?
Well, Sacramento. Was it
98523.
998?
I meant to say 89. 89523. I used to live in the 9 side of the world.
I wonder why it's Sacramento.
89523. We actually, that's my wife's, that's some of the areas we still do.
Right. I've got good news for you, Bill. What comes up is 979 West Cliff Lane, Reno.
Isn't that amazing? I'm number 1. I've done that. And you guys, now how about you, Andrew, up there? 89523.
So 979 West Cliff Lane, Reno,
That's
and then
my
5788 Golden Eagle.
Yep. You know what? Why? There's a gazillion. Look at all those listings out there. Those are the only 2 with videos in them.
Oh, right.
There. I figured that out.
Looks like that.
I researched it. Hit that. That's my first video. A new system. Hit the video real fast.
Yeah, doing it.
I wonder if you can play it over here. If you hit it on here. No, I can't. I don't know if it just shows it. So anyway, that video, I could probably capture that and put that up on Facebook, that same video, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has no
I
sound.
do Facebook, put it on YouTube, put it across everywhere.
Do a video. I'm just experimenting under 2 minutes. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds. It's done pretty fast, and you don't want to do it in the morning. So I'm just testing. Jonathan knows I'm moving pretty fast on this.
No, you already got a result, but like, listen to Andrew. He said, well, for the Facebook, you want Karen with some sign or something. Mate, is that too cheesy, Andrew, having a sign maybe with the properties detail, or is that too cheesy?
No, I would just, what I mean, I just put like a little caption, maybe at the top of the video, there's like a header that scrolls with information. Because a lot of people will watch it without sound because they don't want people to know when they're at work, they're watching this video.
Yeah.
So you want information scrolling there. So maybe as you're going around, tech pops up saying, okay, it's a 3-bedroom home. Here's the address. But that's coming up as words on the screen on Facebook. Because, yeah, not everyone's going to listen to the sound. A lot of people actually watch videos on Facebook without the sound. Because they're either at work or they're in the bathroom. They want the guy installed next to them watching it. So
I'm actually getting pretty good on screen flow. I'm going to do some different techniques, with pictures, But I did this fast, though. I spent no more than 15, 20 minutes. I just wanted to test how it would SEO it, and it shot to the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to kind of finish up, it's a little bit off topic, but I just wanted your input. I'm kind of ambivalent to Zillow. I'm not for it, or not. I'm not against it. It's just a fact. So what in your Facebook campaigns, what do you work with Zillow? Do you integrate it, or what's your general feelings about them, or do you just see them as a competitor that's just trying to get marketing dollars?
I completely ignore Zillow. Because you're going to spend money, I'd rather them go to your own place.
This is what your own page and capture it. This is what I think you should do with Zillow, and this is me in 25 years. Is you should not. All they're selling is impressions. So I don't think, especially a new agent or hasn't built up, does not need the impressions. They won't really help them. No. But what you can do on Zillow is everything else. You can make sure that your listing has a video in it, and it'll drive to the top of Zillow. That you can do almost everything. Zillow, the only thing Zillow is selling is that I can see is two things. They're selling impressions, which is expensive in a contract, and they're also selling $10 websites, which are just basic. I can't think of anything else.
And I know a very nice company owned by Englishmen that throws in a nice WordPress website anyway, Bill. Yeah. It's already there for. So basically, I thought I would just ask you that, Andrew, because in a way, I agree with you, but I don't go on a rant about them because it's just a fact of reality. So if people are getting results from them, God bless them. But I agree with you, driving traffic to your own website and capturing them and then marketing to them on the long term must be a much better solution, mustn't it?
Yeah, but I'll go anywhere that gets me a return. Like if I was seeing a return on Zillow, I would advertise on Zillow. For me, it's what gets me the best returns. If I have the budget to do all of them, then I'll do all of them.
I've talked to a few agents. It seems to be a little bit more experienced agent is using Zillow. I mean, you already have to have your referrals. Yeah, I mean, not your referrals, your recommendations.
To kind of finish off, I don't know how specific you want to get on this, but maybe you can give some indication. I know it will depend. If you're an agent in San Francisco or the Bay Area, or you're in Los Angeles, it's going to be a lot more expensive to advertise on Facebook. But let's say you're looking at Phoenix, Reno, Denver, some of those hottish areas, but not the same level as San Francisco or Los Angeles. What kind of reasonable budget would you think? You're one of those agents that's got about 30 to 40 transactions per year, and you're looking to go up to the next level where you're dealing with 60 transactions. What kind of realistic budget do you think you've got to have with Facebook, or is that a ridiculous?
So a lot depends on the strategies you want to take, but I'd say roughly speaking, look at $500 a month, and then at least $50 for every listing. That's cheap. $50 a listing. That's nothing.
Yeah. And what kind of results do you think you would? So that 30 to 40 agent would, through that kind of strategy and you utilizing you or whatever, they could then get to the 60 level. Do you feel?
Yeah. So I'll give you an example with my clients right now, and I'm actually detailing it in my newsletter. So this year they'll spend between my cost and ads about $22,000, I believe, and our goal is to make them $100,000 on that. And we should actually hit that before the summer. Additional revenues. Yeah. So that's roughly where you should be looking at is if you're spending, say, $20,000 on Facebook, you should try to, out of that, see a return, make gross $80,000 to $100,000. Let me follow up on that. The seasoned agent who's spending $22,000. Now you've got their little advertisement set out. You've got their landing page. Now they're getting an email or some kind of alert.
what are they doing with their alert? How are they getting it?
So, for instance, the one I mentioned earlier, who was the Olympian, he's awful over email. So he just picks up the phone and calls them.
No, are they getting it on text or what? Or how's it?
Oh, for the most part, they're getting emailed.
So they're getting
that's just because the function of lead pages doesn't have a text set up to be alerted.
I thought they did have text on lead page. I have lead.
They have a text program. They don't have a text notification of leads. There's ways to do it with certain integrations, but you have to have like one account to do it. Like, long story short, it doesn't work with the system I have set up right now. So I'm working on something with a partner.
So as soon as they get it, they're going to call. And they're just giving a call.
Depends on the client. So like I mentioned, one of my clients, great on the phone, terrible over email. So he calls everyone. I have actually another one who hates the phone, doesn't even ask for phone number anymore. She just goes over email. So it's a lot up to the individual agent.
She actually works with email. I thought that'd be tough.
It is, but that's just the nature of how like she's built her business, is that she has such volume coming in that she almost lets them qualify themselves because of the volume she does. Nice. She doesn't need to worry about a lot of those time wasters. Pardon?
Now, I think most of your agents who are at that level of production have assistants.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at how many don't. I've talked to a lot of Thai producing agents, and there's like, I know several doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Wow.
And, maybe they have an assistant doing a couple hours a week, but a lot of them don't really have systems. So what we've started doing, I have a kind of behind the scenes, even techier than me partner. And we'll do like 3 or 4 hour workshops with an agent where we'll sit down, go over everything about their business, figure everything out, and then build a fully customized solution based on how they want to run their business. And so that's part of kind of the next phase of what we're doing with people, is trying to systemize their business a little bit more. And it's like, I think, like, for instance, one of my clients, she did 40 deals on her own last year with an assistant doing 2 hours a week, and that was it.
Hey, do you mind who your competition is?
Pardon?
Like, who's your competition? Who do you think your competition is? What are some of these big guys doing, like Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry?
They're not my competition because they're coaching. So I actually there's a lot of coaches who refer me business because they just tell their clients, just hire someone else to do this and focus what you're good at. So I'd say like my main ones would be someone like a curator. They're doing similar to what I have. They're a little bit more expensive than I am, but that's probably my biggest competition.
Yeah, a little over 400 clients.
Yeah, they're definitely much bigger than I am.
Yeah. Well, actually, Chris Smith has agreed to come on the show, Andrews. I need to bug him a little bit. Fun?
Smart guy.
So yeah, I do like Chris, and good luck to him. But I think there's enough oxygen for you. You seem a really smart guy, Andrew, and I'm sure you're going to build up an even better business.
There's a lot of real estate agents out there. I was curious, Mike Ferry. I've known Mike and back when he's in Orange County, his office, and he is like not a tech guy at all. His stuff is looking pretty good now. He's got some money. What are these big guys doing? Just coaching, just selling coaching now? Because he used to have product and all that sort of thing.
It's coaching, isn't it? So to wrap up, obviously you've got work to do, Andrew. But to wrap up, I'd like to ask you one question, and then I don't know if Bill's going to have one last. And then we're going to go on our merry way. For all the interactions with agents you've had, so how long have you been running your present business, Andrew?
Since July. So it's relatively new.
Yeah. But all your interactions with agents and discussions, are there a couple things, do you see a pattern of a couple things that agents do wrong consistently, which that you could give some advice that they should do and which would help their business, Andrew?
The biggest problem I see is that like people will say, I bought this new website, did nothing for me, it was an awful website. But then you start asking them questions and they didn't do anything to drive traffic to the website. They thought just buying the fancy website would get them business. But that's the wrong way to look at it. It's like getting a listing and not even putting it on MLS. Like, you have to do something to drive people there. So that's the first step. And then the second is giving up too quickly with leads. Like I basically wouldn't stop, especially when I was selling. I did not stop until the lead would tell me to stop or that they bought already. And you got to keep following up, and that's one where people really fall off, as they, maybe call once, email once or twice, and then stop following up if they don't hear from them. But I just keep going.
Keep going.
So, Hey, Jonathan, on a side note, I don't want to talk in. I made a list of places where I thought real estate, and this is sort of you may not want to go to this area, but you're really talking about building the funnel. You're a funnel guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just building the funnel. Now, are you helping coach their conversion at all, or is someone else taking over from there? Not a ton. I am trying to help out with that a bit. And then the partner that I brought in recently, he's helping develop some systems to try and help with that, because that has been an issue with some clients. And I've lost a few clients over that where they've not been great at converting. So they've realized that the money, it wasn't worth it for them, even though they were getting the leads, because they weren't able to convert them. So then they weren't getting the return they needed. So just like looking at my own end from like a selfish standpoint, I need to help coach them to get better at converting so that they'll stay as clients longer as well. Right. So, you want to get rich, make money. You want to make $500,000 a year because, they'll give you more money.
Exactly. Yeah. The more money I can make for them, the more my business will grow.
And the people around us. So conversion's tough. I mean, I think conversion is tough. And how about targeting?
The hardest part.
We didn't talk about this. FSBOs and for sale by owners. Is there a way to target those guys? And as well as to do expireds?
Well, where I am, you're not allowed to target expired, so it's a little different.
We can expireds all day long here, and from way back.
Yeah, different rules. But I would just target them with content that's relevant to them.
You're up in Tahoe, so they can target expireds.
Yeah. Some of my clients could, but a lot of them are not focusing on that necessarily right now. But you can. You just got to find, just like everything else, content that would be relevant to them. So actually, there's an agent.
Can you put the address into the expireds and get them that way? There's probably no way to do that.
You can get their phone number the same way you can market to an email address. You can market to a phone number through lists. So if you can upload their cell phone number, so if they put it on the listing, you could upload that to Facebook and target them that way. But I would provide relevant content. So for instance, like there's an agent in my area, I think it was like 15 years ago. One of his most popular ad campaigns was it was a free book he was giving out called Learn How to Sell Your Home Yourself and Save the Commission Money. And he had a ton of people ordering it, but all he was getting was a lot of people who wanted to sell their home, put up their hand. And then they realized how much work was involved and they ended up hiring him anyways.
Was he actually selling it for price?
No, he was giving away for free to anyone who came and left their information with him.
How much I told my wife that all the time. The other thing too is, if you can go out to for sale by owner and show them how to populate with a little video and do a video, now they got a relationship with you. And if they don't sell it, maybe they'll come to you. And I've tried to tell her to start doing that and showing how to get some SEO. Now, one of the things you're seeing is like Zillow is really, a lot of for sale owners are on Zillow.
Yeah.
But Hey, one last thing I want to go over, Jonathan. You may not want to stay around. It's up to you. I don't want to pull too much of your time. I was looking at the different places where an agent should possibly have a profile. I was writing those down because I'm trying to help my wife. I'll tell you what, if I were to charge to do what I'm doing right now, I have to charge thousands of dollars for Karen for the time it's taking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Bing Places, Foursquare, Google My Business. She has 3 of those. One in California, one here in Reno for business, and then one for her real estate. Instagram, LinkedIn, Realtor.com, Truly and Zillow are the same thing now. So you don't need both those. You just need Zillow. Twitter, you can do a lot in Zillow for free, by the way. Yeah. Twitter, Yahoo Local, Yelp, and YouTube. YouTube, just having a YouTube site. Anything else you can think of?
I think it's quite extensive, isn't it, Andrew? My advice, Bill, which I'm sure you're doing, is don't take on too much at once, but the ones that you do take on, make sure that you totally fill in the profile as effectively as you can. And a lot of agents, which is amazing, I don't know if Andrew's amazed, is that they don't even fill in their LinkedIn profile effectively. So, and having a decent, we had somebody that gave some information. Even the headshot, even the promotional shots that you have make a big difference. It's been scientifically proven. We had somebody on that showed some.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. We got to look at that.
So some research. So what I would say to you there, and I don't know if Andrew would agree, is do those. Try and find the ones that are most linked to your particular industry and fill in their profiles as effectively as you can. What do you say, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. So like I'd have a LinkedIn profile, I'd have a Facebook, but you only want to be on the platforms that you actually are going to spend the time to do well. Like don't just join Pinterest for the sake of having Pinterest. Only join if you're going to make a good plan with it and actually follow through. So a lot of my clients when they first come on, I actually like delete their Twitter accounts and do things like that because they're not going to be on there using it the right way. So there's no point in being on there at all. But then like you're talking about with like the headshots, keep consistent across every platform. Because you don't want to run into a situation where someone sees, one-on-one and they go to a different one, it's completely different branding. And then they aren't sure which one's actually you. So keep it all consistent across different platforms and you'll find that you get much better response.
Yeah, Chase with my wife, I just dropped in her page. There's Chase's page. That's just a blog, a basic blog. But Chase has the Steve Jobs look with the black. Everyone in the whole company wears the black. And that's my wife right there. And then, by the way, that's one of Jonathan's products down below in the Facebook side. We haven't paid or done anything for the likes. Those are just natural likes. She's got 38, so she can do that other stuff. I do like that one product, Jonathan, that populating something there. At least it's happening.
Well, it's happening, but Andrew would criticise it. But all I would defend myself, Andrew, is I say to agents, we just provide a boost and we try and get you to, through education and a bit of prodding, to do a bit more. But it's a really difficult area, isn't it, Andrew? Because a lot of agents, that's why they hire you to do it all, because they won't or they can't consistently do what they've got to do, have they?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not going to do it right, there's no point in actually doing it because you could do yourself more harm than good.
I do more harm than good. I wouldn't quite agree with that, but I don't think you're going to get enormous benefit from it. But on the other hand, what I would say to you, Andrew, agents are checked over. At least the evidence shows, by what I've read by some reports in the industry, 2 to 3 months. And agent that doesn't have decent field profiles, that don't have any activity on. Well, I suppose you are right, because I think what you're saying is that if you've got a Facebook page and there's no activity, that will actually damage you. That it's better not to have that page. Is that what you're really trying to say?
Basically, like if someone comes to your page and there hasn't been anything posted for 3 years, it's not going to look very good.
It does it? No. So we try, but it is difficult. So don't be too cruel, Andrew. I know you're a bit sniffy about what we're up to, but it is what it is, Andrew.
On Karen's site, I just clicked on incognito, and it says, get updates from Karen, real estate broker associate on Facebook. Log in and sign up for Facebook today. That's weird. That just popped up.
Well, they're tracking you.
What I did is I hit I just hit the Facebook thing on the website.
Right then, Andrew, I think we let you go.
Have you seen that before?
Sounds good.
Have you ever?
Where's that?
Just flip a switch. When I hit I put KarenConrad.com, and I just hit her site, and I hit the Facebook on the site. I hit I clicked on Facebook where did I click on Facebook? I clicked on Karen Conrad Real Estate, and it took me to the Facebook site, the Facebook page, and 38 likes.
Yep.
And then it down below, it says, get updates from Karen Real Estate Broker Associate. But I'm on incognito, so maybe that's why I was doing that.
That's why it is, yeah.
Well,
it won't automatically log you in that way.
But it says, sign in. So it's not the sign in and the updates. I don't know what it's trying to do. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff for real estate agents to know. The world is, I've been 25 years a broker, and it's changed so much. Now, yeah. You can still go out the traditional way, though. Agents can go out and get going. A new agent, their family, friends, and people they know, and go out and hit them and talk to them.
This is just a different pillar of lead gen for a lot of people. Like there's a lot of different ways to get the job done in real estate, and this is just these types of strategies are just one of them.
Yeah. How long were you in real estate? I forgot.
So it was a couple of years as an agent, and then I accepted an offer from Remax and ended up training agents for about 18 months as well.
Okay, that's a pretty good experience. That
was awesome.
And Remax is a little higher quality agent too, because they have to pay desk fees and they have to be making it. They can't survive.
It's relatively expensive to kind of be in Remax agents. So you know that if they're not producing at Remax, they're not going to stay very long because they won't be able to afford it.
Yep. And you don't go there unless you've already learned someplace else, usually.
There's actually quite a bit of new agents these days joining Remax. That was one thing that we noticed is there's a lot of first-time agents joining.
Or are they doing desk fees? Some of them have 70-30 splits too, with a modified desk fee.
There's a ton of different models for that. Varies like every single brokerage that we talked to, because I was at the head office, so we went into a lot of brokerages. Basically, every single one was different how they did their structures, because you can't mandate how they do it.
My wife and I actually went down to regional headquarters and talked to them about buying a franchise or an office in California. Yeah. That was regional for here, and starting an office. It's they're expensive all the way around. We ended up with Better Homes and Gardens initially.
Yeah, I just boot camp out of Better Homes and Gardens the other day.
The new one, that's the new Better Homes and Gardens, because MAC bought Better Homes, and then after 10 years, they could rebrand that name, Better Homes. I like Better Homes a lot better than GMAC. Well, anyway, I guess that's about it. That was a lot of information. This is, like you said, it's one of many ways. Is there any way, off the hand, what would you say, since I didn't realize you're a trainer in Remax, do you ever give people the list of ways, or just you focus on what your product is right now? The other ways, like building your personal list. Is there any way you can use what you're doing now, like Facebook, like your personal farm, geographical farm?
Yeah, I've done even training. Like I've done training sessions on how to farm an area, how to build a referral-based business. Like I've done a ton of trainings like that. It's just not my specialty anymore. And a lot of that would be, I went interviewed agents doing that really well and basically compiled all their information into a presentation and presented what they told me. Because I've always been like, when I'm presenting, I want to have done it myself. So that's why I mostly talk about online marketing. Because I could talk about how to farm a neighborhood, but at the same time, I haven't personally done it to that same extent as someone who's done it for 20 years. So
if you can if you can throw in Facebook into the farming message.
Yeah. And that's normally what I'll do is I'll take tips from like a top producer and then say, here's what they're doing, and here's ways you could even boost that even more using Facebook or using another platform.
Well, it's really a numbers game to some extent, and Facebook is a numbers game. What people aren't is compared to, I think, as a medium, you can get much better targeting at a price structure that offers much more value than Google AdWords. And Twitter's there, but it's relatively small compared to Facebook. Let's face it, Facebook really is the only online competitor to Google, and it's just the data quality and the way that you can really, I'm looking for the right word, really kind of zero in on the right audience. And if you do the right marketing, you get some fantastic results, won't you, Andrew?
If you can convert them. You got to convert them.
Well, that's serious. Like what I tell a lot of people is generating the leads is easy. It's converting them that's hard. That's
the tough part, Jonathan. That's the conversion for the agent. You have to have a knack for that. That's called sales.
That's salesmanship.
Yeah. It's not the mechanics. It's not the funnel. It's the conversion.
It's salesmanship. That's where your script. I'm not. I think scripts are good to actually get you in a mental state where you're asked rejectionary questions, you just don't freeze and cope and have answers without you choking. But I'm not a great one for just scripting everything out but I think there's definitely, I think you've got to understand what objections are going to be put to you, and you've got to be able to reply to those.
That's big.
And that's the whole area in its own, Andrew, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And one last area we didn't talk. This is a WP Tonic question. How do you build your own? It's not, you basically have an online funnel business. How are you building your business? Are you doing any affiliate work, or teaming up with, like you said, the trainers, and giving them affiliate referral?
Not really right now. If I'm recommending a product, it's not because I'm getting anything out of it. It's just because I think that that's the best one to use.
Just from my
and then the tools.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon.
Just from my side, I think if you want to really get your business to the next level, in like the some of these Curator's an interesting study in itself, how they got to where they are. Is some kind of relationship with the bigger companies like the Tom Ferries, the training and stuff like that. I don't know if they have.
Yeah.
Probably get approached all the time, though, I guess.
Yeah, I have a lot. And like there's definitely some coaches that recommend me, especially there's a few up in here in Canada. So like, for instance, the last speaking tour I did like a 6-city tour, and most of the business I got from that wasn't people attending, it was the other speakers.
What cities do you go to?
They're all in Ontario. So there's like Toronto, Ottawa, Sudbury ones. So if you're familiar with Ontario geography, I could list more.
No, I was just thinking, are you going to start going wider and broader in the United States, things like that, like a road trip?
It depends on where I'm invited to. I'm much more well known in Canada than I am in the States. So like I'm going to Vancouver at the end of May. I just did Calgary a couple of weeks back. But
it seems with your background, you almost need someone like a couple assistants, like a little team, and then you should be doing like 80% sales in your 2 years.
That's where I'm getting up to. I just got to build out the team and the right people.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm looking at you now as from the team side and building your business next level. I sort of like analyzing that, how you build your team, how you take a functioning good product you're making money like yourself, and then go to the next level. The guys who are on steroids, someone's doing nothing but sales, and usually the guy, like the lead, like you, the SEO, the founder, should be out there doing the sales. And we get
that's where I will get to. I need to find someone first who will take over all the actual work.
No, honestly, you need to find and then you have to find trust too.
And that's the tough one. Like, I hired an assistant maybe 4 weeks ago, and I had to let her go after 6 days. But then I found someone new who's been awesome.
Yep, but the worst part of that is not that you had to leave them go because they couldn't do it or something, or they were lazy or whatever. Yeah. It's the idea that someone get in there, and you have to have a non-compete clause with whoever you bring in. We had a processor assistant whose husband got her broker's license. And I learned why we need a compete license, because we used to do the books. We had free bookkeeping for our top agents.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I have a pretty extensive contract because I had an employment lawyer draw it up. So it's a pretty extensive contract that I sign.
Yeah.
Did they have to give blood, Andrew?
Only a little, and it's only for identification purposes.
Oh, right. That's nice to know. I think we have had enough, Bill. Bill, are you up for a quick Zoom after this?
Sure, we can Zoom.
Yeah. So
I'll start the Zoom. Stay online, so I'll start the Zoom.
Start the Zoom and put the code number in.
I can tell you to start the.
No, just bun it into chat. Well, Andrew, thank you for so much for coming on. I think we covered some really interesting stuff. I think we will have you on the show anytime if you want to come on again. Yeah, I think we've had some fun, haven't we?
So you need,
sure.
You should be out there talking. If you were talking constantly lead generation, you could probably get a ton of folks. But
that's the plan. So like I've already like in the fall, I think I have 10 places booked to go speaking. They're all in Canada right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, eventually I'm working with a guy like those boot camps I was telling you about, bring those to the States.
Who invites you mostly?
Mostly people that I have relationships with. So other speakers are talking and they talk to boards and associations who are looking for more speakers. That's how I get most of mine. And then a lot of just like networking. Like I go to events and talk to people and get to know people. People Google me, things like that. It's been a really wide range, but mostly it's just from networking and building relationships.
Yeah, thanks.
Do podcasts.
Yeah.
Don't watch all this. If somebody watches at the end, they're on drugs or they're listening to it in the background right now.
Yes, Bill.
Because somebody's listening to it. Someone will listen to this. Sorry about that. But, maybe you're casually listening. I do like listening to live stuff, though.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Right, boot him out, Bill.
Hey,
We're
Jonas,
ended.
you're welcome anytime tech-wise, because you're really a tech WordPress guy too. I mean, you're in the tech field. Come on Saturday mornings. In fact, you could have come on last Saturday morning. We're sort of tied in real estate with WordPress.
Well, it was kind of forced on us, actually, Andrew. Somebody went semi-bonkers on us. So...
That's part of it. We'll talk politics this week.
Sweet,
I'll
yeah.
knock you out, John.
Give it a different.
Yeah, because we made you a host. I think I made you a host. Let me make sure you're a host.
Yeah,
you're a host, so I'm going to knock you out so I can make sure you're shut down. Now, don't come back.
Sounds good.
Right, bye.
See you later.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye, Andrew.
Lock him out. Let me lock that thing out there. Zillow out. I thought that was up for a while. So let me get this.
Get the Zoom up.
Zoom is up right now. I mean,
give us the ID number.
I'll just. I can either put the link or the ID number in here.
Put the ID in. Can you?
It's
Just I'm going to
watch this. Just watch this, Jonathan. Faster way to do it. Just take this. Oh, my brain. Copy. Okay. Now I'm going to paste it in here and just click this. I had to remember. I've done this in a while. I do the ID number so much. Just click that. Go click. No one's up there watching us. Click it.
Yeah, clicked it.
There you are. Ding, ding. Let me shut this down. I'm going to shut you off. Bye. And goodbye, Bill. Thank you for tuning in to Timelines. Timelinesofsuccess.com is one of the sites, and wp-tonic.com and podcastershome.com. And you might as well get the mail-right.com is the main real estate site with all the programs and sites. Bye. If someone